Now I know that thoughts may be of Halloween, of Thanksgiving, and of Christmas, but wait a minute. Isn't it nice to have something that would be good for every day and special occasions?
Absolutely.
And Hunky Dory has come up with an absolutely gorgeous collection called Radiant Roses.
It has beautiful gold foil details like Hunky Dory always does.
Yes.
And lots of other little surprises like easel cards and trifold aperture cards.
And then there's even more to go with it, but we'll show you that in just a minute. Come play with us. Now we're going to start with the Radiant Roses collection, and I just want to turn it on its side because that's a lot of stuff. And it's all gorgeous. And the Radiant Roses, as Gail was saying, has easel cards, and this is the mechanism for making them.
Right, those are the bases. They are scored and ready to fold.
And then here are the foiled and die cut artwork. As
The
you
card
can see,
pieces, it's just beautiful.
it is beautiful.
And that's the artwork for the easel as well as for the next one we're talking about, which is the trifold aperture.
Right, and these are the mechanisms for that, beautifully foiled and printed on both sides. And there are 4 of these.
So 4 of the easels, 4 of the trifold apertures in those beautiful colors.
Right, and here's the artwork for these.
Right, that's also for those 2 cards that you can use them and stack them up pyramid style.
Right, and this actually has 2 of each of these, which is really kind of nice.
Right.
So we've got that. And just beautiful, beautiful artwork. And then you have more die cuts. And these are, of course, foiled, because why? Of course they would be. And so this is going to be used for all your other kinds of cards.
Right, so these are considered the card toppers part of the Hunky Dory kit. And look at all that beautiful artwork, lots of different shapes and sentiments always.
And then we go into the Adorable Scoreable. Now there are sheets that are foiled, like these, and as you can see, it might be on one side or the other. Now we just dance around going on both sides, or it might be at the top.
Lots of matching and beautiful artwork on all of these.
Very gorgeous.
See all those roses.
And then there are additional sheets that are not foiled, but are just printed. Sometimes they can become 2 different cards, or just lots of options with these. And this is the 350, I think,
Yes.
GSM weight.
Right.
So it's a very, very sturdy. And then there are also, this thing doesn't end.
There we go.
8 envelopes and some Velcro, interestingly
We'll
enough.
show you what the Velcro is used for.
And one other thing to tell you is that there is not only an inspiration sheet, but a little bit of text to get you started on the trifold aperture and on the fancy easel.
Right.
So nice to always have that, but you have us too, and we will help you with that.
Okay, so let's see what it looks like.
Okay.
Together.
So here is an easel card, and I'm just going to pop this up, and this is that mechanism, and you can see that this is die cut. How easy is that?
Right.
This
so
little, oh, okay.
Right. So there's
You're gonna show that.
piece. I'm just going to very simply, the piece that's going to fold over, there is a little pop-up piece right there that it stands in. That's the easel portion of it. So you just foam tape your pieces together. You line them up with that, or you can actually go a little bit down, give yourself a matted edge, and that piece will be done for you, put together. And it also comes with these little die cut pop-outs. They might look like not much, but they're really neat as going around the edges right here.
Yeah, there it is.
Right, so you
on
can
there.
foam tape them on there, and they add on to that. I love the border down at the bottom, and put the label on there, and there you go, card sent.
And it's really, I mean, just that fast.
Yeah.
And that little die cut piece is going to hold your easel upright. So nice that they fold flat. Now we've added just a little bit of ribbon, but you don't need to, or you can. It's your choice. But this one's best wishes, lots of different phrases for you. So that is the fancy easel.
Right.
Now for the trifold aperture, this is a finished card, and this is where the Velcro can be used, right down here in the corner.
Attach it. You can put it on the corner, you can put it in the middle of the side, wherever you like, but that holds it together. Isn't that beautiful?
And that's that
stack
kind of paper
portion.
towel.
Right, paper towel.
with foam tape in between them. Those are all die cut for you and all foiled for you.
Right. So what I like about the base in particular is it's already scored, ready for you to fold. Here's the inside.
It's also double-sided printed.
It's double-sided, but it also comes with these two panels here, here and here, which you don't use for this card. So it has a sentiment, sending you birthday wishes, hugs, and kisses, and these can be used on a separate card somewhere else entirely. So
Nice
just
to know.
set those aside. And then on this side, you go ahead and stack the artwork together. That's the Pyramage look there. You foam tape that in place, and then they're already scored. You just fold them up, 2 little folds here, and 2 little folds on this side, and there you go. You have your box and your window effect. Add that little Velcro down there, and there you go.
Notice how that's doing it, where the top piece is a wider, so that you get a double frame as you're peeking into that
so
window.
There you're opening up. I love that part of it right there with all of that gold foiling
Just
on there.
beautiful.
There you go.
It's so stinking easy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my goodness. You take lots of credit for this, folks.
For a beautiful card, really.
Very, very nice. Now, what do you do with the pieces that are left? Well, how about this? You can use the Adorable Scoreable to be either your total card. We kind of like to cut it apart because that way we get more out of it. And you can see that we've done the 3D on top.
Right. I love the addition of dazzles. So some of the, I think they're lacy.
They are.
Lacy border dazzles, the gold ones down at the bottom and the top.
Well, of course, we think you can never go wrong adding dazzles. And one of the little sentiments on top. And on the inside, this is where we've cut the Adorable Scoreable.
Right.
But those strips for borders, we've
on the
cut
top
on
and the bottom. I like just
Yeah.
the one little flower foam taped next to the Get Well Soon there.
So
Very
in
sweet.
answer to the question of what do you do with those, this is one option. Now here is a scrapbooking option, and this is really fun, and I so appreciate being able to see these because you might not go there first, and that's nice to see. So you've got this giant photo.
Right, and you've got elements of that hunky-dory kit within here. So you've got this paper towel style flower here.
Now, even though that is foam taped together, let me kind of do it on its side, that's not terribly bulky to go into your sheet protector or into your album.
So you've got strips. This is one of the, okay, from here all the way down, that's one piece, one part of a piece of the Adorable Scoreable cardstock. So it's got a border on one end, so that's your natural border up at the top. And then there's always lots of sentiments. Even on tags, you can add a couple of little tags, and these are some of the border strip die cuts that you can pop out.
And you see the other flower coming over into that Generations of Girls. Just beautifully done, and with plain cardstock, it just really pumps it up a notch, I think. So that's one option. Now another option is this. Now Debbie has took her cue from Teresa's Amazing Folded Cards DVD.
Right.
And she has made this, and she used the Adorable Scoreable, and as we open it up, it slides like so.
So it has that box opening on top and that tag down at the bottom. So you can get into that DVD and see how to put together something like this. It's a little bit modified, Debbie said, because it's with the hunky-dory. So I just wanted to show you real briefly what she put together to create this box. Here is the Adorable Scoreable cardstock. That's going to end up being on the front. And there are measurements here that show where you score it: 3/4, 1 1/2, 4 5/8, and 5 3/8. This is all in the gallery, the measurements, and then it is scored and it's ready to fold for the box cover. And I've got Ultra Tape ready to go there. She also did that with the box. She created the box. You'll have to see the gallery for the dimensions. So it's scored and then cut on the end so that this can create a box. So here's
that becomes
the box.
that drawer, doesn't it?
Right,
It slides
this becomes
out.
the drawer. So the Ultra Tape is on there, ready to just remove. And you're going to do that all the way around. So that box, while it's blank on the inside, you can just put some of the hunky-dory artwork on there. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you what that would look like. So she cut a piece of the hunky-dory artwork to sit right in the bottom like that, and that'll get glued in place. She also had to create this. This is the base. It has a notch on both ends, and she had to create a tag. And using the plastic that came with the kit, she cut a long strip of the plastic, and she started by, if you could get me one piece of tape.
I can do that.
You wrap this around those notches, and you tape just the plastic together. So I'm going to do that right there. So
that becomes a sliding mechanism.
Right, so that's going to slide back and forth between these notches. It's not taped onto anything else. And then that's, this is going to get taped onto the bottom of the box. So I'm going to line the edges up here. This is kind of the only tricky part for me.
Rather than
that one?
Is it the envelope?
Yeah,
or the drawer?
It's this.
Okay.
And I'm going to tape that to the box right about so. So one more piece of tape. We'll catch that and get that. That's close to the bottom of the box. See if I can get any. I'm actually taping just that plastic strip close to the bottom of the box, because that's going to be able to pull it up like this. And then I'm going to take this tag and tape it, glue onto the plastic up here at this side. It's kind of interesting putting it all together to get that really interesting effect. I do recommend looking at the DVD to see in action what that looks like.
Plus you'll get all the patterns.
Right, I'm going to take that out. And so then they're going to slide back and forth between that piece. And then that piece gets, I'm not going to do it, but that piece gets taped here. It's going to be like that. And these pieces, they will close up, they'll get taped here, and they'll get taped onto this notched piece that I put in there, so that when you're done, the box will pull in and out like so, and that tag comes out the other end.
Because they're all connected.
Like
so another way of looking at it is like this. So I know that was a very fast demonstration, but again, there's complete videos on Teresa's amazing
folded cards, DVD.
And the little need that pull to come out of it, but it works just beautifully. And it's just another way of sharing how many things you can do with the hunky-dory. It doesn't just have to be quick and easy cards. You get the variety of things, which is really, really nice. Now, in addition to the Radiant Rose kit, there is a whole set of this.
Of adorable scoreable in these beautiful foil accented colors. There are 10 of these sheets, and look at the colors in them. There's this lilac, a purple, a deep rose, a lighter rose. There's a real kind of a light, a pale green, pink, white. There's an ivory, a yellow, and a little bit of a darker green. Those are just beautiful. I got to look at all the 10 sheets.
Gorgeous.
A4 size. That's 8 1/4 by 11 3/4.
And here is how you might choose to use it. You can layer them, because you can have shades of the same color. You can do this kind of thing of blending them together, and isn't this just stunning?
And this is done with the layered labels.
It is.
Die cuts and 2 swirls, 6 layered labels and 2 swirls, and all with that great burgundy suede in there as well.
Right, and this is the tiny words and phrases. There are 130. The happy birthday happens to be one of them.
I love the combination of the different shades, that they're so similar, and even on the corner, little pieces of the labels used as corner pieces.
It's just stunning. And that swirl was cut out of the suede, and it's part of the cutting die, as you can see. But just how that layering is so beautifully done.
It is, and I love the tiny little paper flowers. They're little pink paper flowers. They fit in kind of any small little spot.
It does. Now, this is one way that you can use them in layering them. Here is another, and this is on the center step card. And this is one of those pieces that you had that you popped
That's
out
right.
that wasn't
The
used.
one that was saved, and you can use
Right.
it on a different card. But this has another kind of cardstock on there as well.
It does. Right on the sides, this is embossed cardstock, and let me show you that.
It is. You can, so it's got that raised feel
Right.
to it.
And here are some of the sheets. There are 10 sheets. You can really see the design, and it too is going into the combination of light and dark shades of the same tone. White is in there, as is the rose, the light and the dark, and then very, very soft pink into the yellow, and then a soft butter. And 10 sheets again, all in the Radiant Rose collection.
On that adorable scoreable cardstock
Yes.
at 350 GSM. So it's real heavyweight, but it's just beautiful on this card. It combines
Isn't that gorgeous?
with that gold foil accent really nicely.
And on the inside too.
very-
So just combining it with the foil.
And I want to point out that this label was created not from this one in particular, but you can use one of the smaller labels to trace and cut out another label.
Right, out of the embossed paper. And here is another way. This is taking the embossed piece and doing some inking, and you're going to show us that,
Yeah,
huh?
very simply, a piece of the embossed cardstock. I've got a stylus here, or a stylus, and distress ink. This is Seedless Preserves. And you just lightly want to get some of that ink. I would test it here. No. And then just
I guess you won't be testing
I'm
it.
just going to lightly move it around on the top. I'm just going to try to hit the embossed areas of that, and it really starts to
Wow.
pick it up very quickly. Beautiful. Makes it stand out.
Very pretty. And here it is on the card. And this was using a design tool, I bet, to create the shape of the card.
Which
And
I think I
do you have?
right here, Design Toolkit number 6.
Okay,
Right.
there is the circle
So
frame.
There's the circle frame right there. And the center label is on there as well. That is label B. It was used for that label.
Right. And this was, so the fold of the card is up here, and this part is, so the actual mechanism of the card is on the inside of the two pieces together. But just inking that just gives such a beautiful look.
It is beautiful.
And this is using the petaloo flowers that's coming in there, and some of the berries, just adding even more. And you can also, now you did inking lightly on the top.
Right.
This is another look.
This one is done with distress paint. So this was done with the brushed pewter. It's a silver metallic distress paint. And I have a different color of the embossed cardstock here, but I'm going to just quickly shake it up. There is an applicator on the end of this, a little sponge applicator, and you can just push this on, sort of get it going. Just move it all over the cardstock if you need to. You might have to do that to get a little paint on it, and then just brush it across. And you want kind of a layer that's thick enough so that you can really see the paint. I'm trying to get a little more on there. There we go. There we go. And it's going to stay in the lowered areas. If you take a paper towel and just sort of brush it off the top, you'll get it off of that raised area, and you'll see most of the paint behind it. So it's going to get, you're going to get a nice little raised edge around, or a silvered edge around it.
Kind of you're kind of reverse antiquing
Right.
there. And you can see that this is using that same burgundy that we used earlier, the burgundy suede, and also adding some of the silver lacy flower dazzles.
They're just beautiful.
That's that big piece.
Right. They are, some of them are backed on the embossed, the pink
right.
embossed cardstock, and some of them are backed on the suede.
Isn't that pretty?
Stacked up with foam tape. It's just a beautiful focal.
Very striking. And this is the tiny words and phrases in silver. We just showed it in gold. So certainly a nice group. Interesting that both the silver and the gold work with the burgundy and the pink embossed adorable scoreable.
And then that cutaway edge on the bottom of the card is from the Design Toolkit number 3. So there's that edge right there on the card.
Okay.
So just beautiful. These are so useful.
Want you to know that we have Radiant Roses in the complete kit, but then we also have the Radiant Roses in the embossed cardstock as well.
And then the gold foiled cardstock.
And as you have probably figured out by now, with Hunky Dory, we get one shipment, and that's what we get because they only do one printing. So when they're gone, and this is a beautiful collection.
So get them now and make beautiful roses during the holidays.
See you next week.